our esteemed colleagues for that. I'm waiting for them to finish their photos because we do still have one more patron to recognize. And so we've saved, for this moment, I want to recognize the National Student Clearinghouse for their continued patronage, their steadfast support of the GDN. You are a true convert and a true evangelist of the work that we do. And so I'd like to present with this year's patron certificate. I'd like to call Rick Torres up to receive it. Oh, boy, you're like...
We have another one. Our final patron agreement. This one's for you, for their continued support. ACRO, our very, very loyal patron.
So actually, can I invite Christy up here to join us? Christy Wold McCormick, this is her first GDN meeting, but she is the president of ACRO. And so I would like to include her in this recognition.
Definitely.
Oh, we're going. All right, we are near the end, but we have a couple of other treats that we'd like to invite our colleagues from Norway up to share an official invitation to the next year's meeting. Would you like to come up? And we'd love to see all of you. Yes. Yeah, so we can cue it. Do you want to have it cue it up now? Yeah. Can we cue the movie now? Yes. Thank you.
So, welcome to Oslo. So, from Miriam and Geir, who's representing the service provider for the higher education sector in Norway, and me and Helene, who are from the Directorate of Higher Education and Skills, we really like to welcome you, and we're very excited that you will be coming to Oslo. And we would also like to use the possibility to thank you for 3 wonderful days here in San Diego. We have had a really interesting time, as always great meeting you all and having all these presentations, all these exchanges. And as you can see here, we had this presentation about micro-credentials where you talked about words that cannot be easily translated. And so we have brought our own word here. Dugnad is a Norwegian word. It comes from Old North, and it designs a collective effort for the common good when people come together to make something for the common good without the expectation of personal gain. And this is something that's integrated in Norwegian society, and you are expected to participate in. It can actually be in the workplace, but most often in society as a whole. And what you get in return is community, a better society, and in a lot of cases, barbecue and beer. But that's another story. So anyway, we think we will have a good place in Oslo, a venue, very centrally located hotel. The city is very walkable, it's very safe. We will try to get in some culture. We'll have a reception at the Edvard Munch Museum. He's one of the prominent expressionist painters in Europe. Some of you might know the Scream, which is quite iconic. And then we also, you saw the saunas, so we tried that. You have to bring swimwear. But on the other hand, you must also be prepared for the weather. In Norway, there is no such thing as bad weather. It's only insufficient clothing. Which means that in the end of October, it can be 15 degrees and sunny, but it can also be -5 degrees and snow. Hopefully not, but in these days of climate change, you never really know. So please bring some sensible clothes too. And we will try to get in, because this is one of the advantages of Oslo. The forest is very close, even though it's a city. So we'll try to see if we can have some possibilities to do like a hike in the woods for those who are interested, a morning swim after the sauna, or things like that. So we're really looking forward to seeing you all, and thank you for this year's GDN.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited about Oslo. I can't wait. So we are now at the very end. I want to thank every one of you for being here, for being a part of this really wonderful community and this network of networks. It is truly made up of all of the people who are a part, and we wouldn't be here without all of you and without this connectedness and this common goal. Over the last 2 years, we have done a tremendous amount of work to transition the infrastructure of the organization to prepare us for what's next. We transitioned to new leadership. We did the tremendously unsexy work of lots of policies and procedures and infrastructure, but that's the foundation that we have to be a more mature organization and to have the impact that we know that we can have, all of us collectively together. With the support of our signatories, our patrons, and our sponsors, we're now structured to leverage the power of this network of networks in order to create action to achieve the secure, verifiable digital ecosystem so that all individuals can share their achievements with whomever they want, whenever they want, from wherever they are. For me personally, and for ACRO, my organization, the timing of this role and this time for me is actually perfect. Though, as a founding member of GDN, the work is very much in alignment with the work that we are doing at ACRO. As an association, we're focused on realizing the ecosystem in the US, interoperable with this global ecosystem that's evolving, and the vision of true learning mobility to ensure that there are mechanisms in place within the ecosystem to recognize all learning in an equitable way. The work at GDN will continue to inspire the work for me at home and for all of you around the globe, especially as we are establishing our first chapter in North America. Next year, we'll be in Oslo. I hope to see you all there, along with any fellow visionaries you pick up along the way. Bring them, please. And then we've already begun planning for 2026 in South Africa with our partners at SAQA. We plan to leverage that planning to come together and reinforce our commitment to deeper engagement with the Global South. We have a 2-year ramp, and so I plan to take full advantage of that. The kinds of conversations that we have together here is perfectly encapsulated with the theme of next year's conference and this new word that we've all been introduced to, dugnad. I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate all of the feedback that you engaged with Joanne and I over the last 3 days and at that session earlier today. And we'll definitely take your wise counsel as we plan ahead. I am personally always struck by the thoughtful humanity and humility of everyone that is a part of this network. It characterizes the space when we are together, and that really means something, and it is unusual. It's not found anywhere else. To quote my good friend Kevin from Parchment, we're simply good people doing great work, and that's why I love this organization. I shared a metaphor about pebbles in a lake when we were out there earlier today, and I see each signatory as a pebble dropping into a chain of lakes, and you're all change makers. Bring what you've learned and what you've felt and what you heard back to your individual networks. Make those ripples. Keep jumping headfirst into the lake, and then come back to see us in Oslo next year. Thank you very much. Thank you to Joanne and her team. Thank you to the tech folks, and thank you to all of you. We'll see you next year.